2020 has been an interesting year. A lot of things happened, and my mind has been on autopilot for most of it. I was browsing some memes the other day, and I came across one about how our grandchildren would get to the 2020 section in their history class and just be like, what the fuck? And it got me thinking about what exactly I've done this year. Or honestly, just how I've been feeling this year. Or perhaps even more honestly, how little I've been feeling this year. In the midst of some of the most trying times, at least during my lifetime, I wasn't really doing anything or even really feeling anything. I wasn't helping any causes. I wasn't keeping up with the news. I didn't even reach out to any of my friends to see if they were okay. Frankly speaking, I didn't care. It felt like I was drifting mindlessly, aimlessly through a vast ocean. If the ocean had a raging storm and everything was on fire. Maybe a bit dramatic. How did I end up like this? How did I end up so emotionally detached that despite all the shit that was happening around me, I didn't give a fuck? One word: passion. I graduated high school with no clue on what I was interested in, or what I wanted to do, what I was even good at, and of course, what I was passionate about. I was told your passion is that one thing that you're so strongly drawn to by a near uncontrollable desire that you'd be compelled to pursue it no matter what, and that once you found it, you would know. But I couldn't find it. After 4 years of high school, 9 sports, 17 extracurriculars, and 18 years of directionless wandering, nothing. I felt lost. But I promised myself that in college, I was for sure going to find that one thing no matter what. College for me was going to be a journey to get unlost. But I basically immediately fucked it up. I got in my own head and I let irrational fears consume and control my actions. What if I couldn't find it? What if after all the time and effort I put in, I came up empty-handed? A crushing fear of graduating college with no valuable skills and experiences and stuck going down a career path that I didn't care about ate away at me at every waking moment. I absolutely had to find my passion. Finding what I was passionate about was the key to freeing myself from my own fears and escaping a life of perpetual regret and unhappiness, stuck doing something that I hated doing for the rest of my life and slowly becoming normalized to a life of mediocrity while constantly daydreaming of what could have been. Maybe a bit dramatic. But it's true. In my mind, if I couldn't figure out what I was passionate about, my time spent at college was all going to waste. It took priority over everything else. Schoolwork, socializing, my own health. I had put finding my passion up on this pedestal, believing that all my future plans and my identity and purpose depended on successfully finding that one thing that I truly loved. And I decided the best place to start was making creative content. Something I had never done before and just so happened to be one of the most difficult fields to earn a living in. But I never got the chance to pursue my artistic interests in high school, and I thought this very well might be the last chance I'll ever get. Plus, the thought of earning a living while making art sounded very tempting. I learned to produce music, learned a bit of graphic designing, breakdancing, and eventually, making videos. These were things that I had no prior experience in. Things that were wildly out of my comfort zone and had no relation to my major. But I latched onto them relentlessly, as if making up for lost time I became engrossed in learning as much as I could about these newfound interests. Which, in the context of my intensely introverted nature, meant that I was spending a lot of time by myself, learning how to do these things from the ground up, and avoiding showing and telling anyone what I've been up to while also refusing to ask for help. At first, it was because I was shy, but eventually, the more I got into it, the harder and longer I tried, the more I started avoiding people because I was ashamed. Just a little longer. If I try just a little harder, I'll be good enough to show my face. Sorry we couldn't hang out yesterday, or the day before, and the day before that, and the week before that, and all of last month, and the month before that. I was busy. I was ashamed of my content, embarrassed by how little I was improving and how unimpressive it all was. There were so many talented people around me, and I felt so talentless. Compared to them, my music, dancing, designing, my videos. How could I have a future in creating content when I wasn't any good at it? How could I tell people this was my passion if I wasn't any good at it? Am I even passionate about creating content to begin with? Well, yeah, obviously. I fucked it up real bad. While I told myself that I would find my passion by exploring and trying many new things, it felt like such a waste of time and resources to learn something new and then just simply move on if it didn't work out. One wrong step and I might end up both passionless and jobless. I let this fear get the better of me, and induced by the paranoia of making the wrong decision, I convinced myself that whatever thing I picked first was my true passion. And once I settled on being a content creator, I fell into a mad frenzy to develop my skills as quickly as possible. Not because I was passionate about creating content, but because I couldn't afford not to be passionate about creating content. And after 3 years of college, I cracked. It felt like I had given up so much, yet gained so little. Nothing I did was satisfying anymore. I gave up my straight A grades and they were no longer salvageable. Avoiding people became routine and I didn't develop my social skills. Despite working 3 jobs, I was half-assing them and gained no valuable work skills. I fucked up my sleep schedule, I fucked up my work ethic, I fucked up my health. And all for what? To feel constantly like I'm not good enough? To feel perpetually tired and broken? To feel so emotionally detached that despite all the shit that was happening around me, I didn't give a fuck? I was in a bad place, obviously. 2020 has been an interesting year. I was burnt out, and after an unfortunately troublesome semester abroad, I decided to take a break from school. And during my time away from school, I've been slowly recovering and trying to get back on my feet. I've had a lot of time to reevaluate and reflect on where I am right now. What I've been chasing these last few years wasn't passion. It was a warped idea, an improper definition of passion. A passion that was defined by monetary and reputational success. And I was driven by fear. Fear of failing and never recovering. Fear of disappointing my family, my friends, my school. Fear of losing everyone and everything that I have and losing my self-worth. All this to say, I got caught up in a fever rush and I ended up getting sick. But now that I've had some time to myself, some time to chill out a little bit, I feel better. I may not have found the success that I was hoping for or the skills I desperately wanted, but I now have a newfound clarity on where I've been all this time and where I want to be headed. I still don't know what my passion is, and I'm not sure I understand what passion truly even is, but all I know is that I've been looking in the wrong place, doing the wrong things. I've been trying to find this one thing, one particular activity or field of study that I enjoy more than any other activity or study. But between the 9 sports, 17 extracurriculars, my major and all the classes from group psychology to business management, to my music, designing, video editing, and dancing, I've enjoyed all of it. Or more specifically, what I've enjoyed the most was the activity of learning and experiencing all these things. Ever since I was a kid, the opportunity to experience new things and learn new skills was in itself exciting. And being able to share my experiences and enthusiasm with other people helped me stay grounded and make stronger relationships. But in my mad scramble to get good quick, I had not only given up my relationships, but also my joy of learning for the sake of learning. I don't know what career path I'll end up on, but hopefully, no matter what path I take, I'll still be able to enjoy learning and experiencing new things purely for the fun of it, and I'll be able to share my enthusiasm with those around me. So, moving forward, my goal is simple. I want to live a simpler and enjoyable life, starting first by opening up to my family, reconnecting with old friends, and pushing myself to make new friends, and learning to healthily come out of my own shell little by little. And lastly, by learning to enjoy life and appreciate the moments and experiences as they come, not driven by fear, but simply for the sake of learning to enjoy life. Hats off to a better 2021.